I grew up in Malibu, so I was no stranger to wildfires, but I never have witnessed anything like what I saw on January 7th.
And the winds, I don't know how fast they were, probably 50, 60 miles per hour. You could see the trees kind of blowing like crazy, and you could see the smoke coming over the horizon, start seeing flames. And at that point is when we both kind of knew it was time to go.
We got a text message from my son. My son was in Palisades Village for breakfast, and he said, "Mom, Dad, I see a fire in the hills." It was very quick, 20, 30 minutes before we could see plumes of smoke, massive wind, and ash in the air. We packed, we woke up our kids, and we rushed to get out the door.
The carnage on the Alphabet Streets was like nothing I'd ever seen. I could see all the way from Sunset on the left to Chautauqua on the right, and all the way up to Albright with maybe 3 houses standing. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen.
I could see my neighbors' houses on fire, both right in front of my house and to the right of my house. You know, the last reading I got from the house was the nest telling me that the house was 251 degrees. So at that point, you knew it was gone.
We lost all our material possessions in the fire. Nothing was saved.
My wife Katie and I lost our home in the Palisades fire with all our possessions, and it's been tough.
The fact that we lost our house was just a shock. Then you start to think about the entire neighborhood and how much damage there was to all the infrastructure. You start to think about the schools and the grocery stores.
We lost the rec center where our kids learned to play soccer, basketball.
You know, tears build up, thinking about the people who lost everything, thinking about the tragedy of people who don't have money and resources to rebuild.
The second order effects of these fires is incalculable. If you think about everyone who is part of the ecosystem, from dog walkers to nannies to housekeepers to gardeners.
I think about retirees and the people who worked in the service industry around the Palisades who lived in apartments. They're the ones who are going to suffer.
It's just crazy how many people are out of work now.
You know, let's not forget, it's not just Pacific Palisades, but Altadena burned down. Multiple generations of lower income housing that don't have adequate insurance, that don't have adequate savings and family systems. We can help people now, and we need to make a difference.
After the initial shock and learning about so much loss amongst friends in our community, quickly a chat group came together amongst the VCs in LA. Out of that community and that chat group came an initiative which I helped spearhead called the LA Tech Community Cares Fund. And we brought it together with more than 50 VC firms and startups across LA to give back to our broader LA community. Those that don't have the resources to rebuild, that need help to keep from being homeless and otherwise. It's been amazing to see this community outpouring.
To date, we've raised more than $1 million for the initiative that Dustin Rosen started, LA Tech Cares. Our goal is to raise no less than $1.5 million, and we want to keep that process going. We've been through a period of loss. People lost homes and memories and other things. We've been through a period of displacement, where we're trying to figure out where we're gonna live, where our kids are gonna go to school, what our future holds. We've gotten through the tough bits. We're now rebuilding.
I'm incredibly optimistic about the future of Los Angeles. The Palisades will rebuild, Altadena will rebuild bigger and better than ever, and that is the spirit that is infused in the city of Los Angeles.
I've seen a wonderful side of Los Angeles, one that is filled with kindness and generosity.
We have foundations and organizations that are providing for people that were impacted by the fires.
So many people have donated their time, money, and even rooms in their homes to support the families that were impacted.
It's been absolutely incredible watching how quickly our community has been able to transform grief into hope and dreams for a better future.
Community is so much more than a place. It's about people, and across LA, people have shown up for each other.
I'm excited about LA's resilience, LA's ability to be back well before 2028, where we host the Olympic Games.
Los Angeles is incredibly resilient and will rebuild, and Pasadena and the Palisades will come back better than ever before.
I am a venture capitalist, and I am betting on Los Angeles rebuilding.
It's a town of dreamers. It's a town of innovators. It was built from nothing into something incredible. And that spirit is infused in the DNA of this city. The City of Angels will continue to thrive into the future. And I'm excited about where we'll go from here.
If any of this has resonated with you, please donate what you can afford to donate. We have a text to donate number. We have a QR code. Know that all the money is going to people in needs. There's no administration cost. None of this money is coming to any of the people in this room. We have resources. There are people who don't. The money is going to families, often single moms with kids who need to buy clothing, who need to buy stuff for school, who need to rebuild their communities, who are sleeping on couches and floors with their children, cramped in other people's homes. So I hope you'll find a way to give. If it's $100 and that's meaningful to what you have, give $100. If you can afford $5,000, I know that's a lot of money, but really, if you're not gonna miss that over the next 5 years, think about what a difference you can make in the lives of people who have lost everything.